Hi, so this is a demo of an economic simulation that I coded completely in Java. There's many classes in it, including this one, which represents a worker. I call it the worker class. And then I also have several other classes that represent companies, such as this real estate company. And then there's also a delivery company here, um, and building company, car company here. There's several companies and they interact with the workers in interesting ways, which I will show here. I'm just going to start it up. And this is the simulated world that I created. The little workers down here um, are they choose different jobs that are offered by each company in the world. So right here, there's three companies here, including the real estate and the car company. But then there's also the delivery and the construction company, and those companies don't have buildings. They're in charge of construction and delivery of raw materials on the buildings of these three companies. Um, and all the companies do the same thing in that they hire workers and they set wages based on how much money they're bringing in and how valuable each worker is. And each worker has a different value that they spawn in with. But then I also use the rule of diminishing marginal product to make it so with each new worker hired, they become less and less valuable. But essentially, the delivery company um, is in charge of hiring workers, and the workers walk to the delivery company, which is over on the left, and they get in these delivery trucks you see here, and they add these building blocks to the building. Um, and right now, this building's getting very tall. This represents the car company, but there hasn't been any construction done on it yet until now. We have a few construction workers here. You can see them climbing the building and hammering these blocks and turning them from raw material into actual parts of the building. Um, so that means the construction company is now hiring workers. And the way workers choose which company to work for is dependent on first, is a company hiring? And then, second of all, is it paying more than the company that the worker currently works for? And if both of those are true, the worker will switch to that company and work for them instead. And right now, the delivery company is not paying their workers as much as the construction company. So all of the workers are now working for the construction company, which you can see here. And they're scaffolding this building and hammering it. And this is also the car company, which means that the workers can also buy cars from this company when they have enough money that they get from the wage the construction, delivery, or other company is paying them. And that's represented here by these cars down here. So each of these workers is now a car owner, which means when they walk on the ground, they drive rather than walk. Um, and that's how they get to and from work. And then this building right here represents the real estate company, or like the apartment buildings. And when it's nighttime, I'll show you once it turns nighttime. I can also speed it up here. When it turns nighttime, everyone goes home, which you can see they drive home, and if you saw closely, you could see that they appeared in the windows of these apartments here. So they also pay rent. They pay for the car. They pay for rent. Um, and yeah, so basically, I can speed this up too to show something interesting that happens at the end. Um, Once all of these workers are done working on this building, the problem is that there's not going to be any more work to do because each of these workers is no longer homeless. Each of them has a home, which they can go to here. And each worker also owns a car, which means there's no more products to be sold to the workers, which means these companies aren't going to make any more money, which also is going to have a trickle down effect, meaning that the construction company won't make any more money because, well, first, the delivery company won't because these buildings won't order any more blocks, and then of course the construction company won't make any more money because there'll be no blocks to do construction on, and eventually that will lead to all the workers being unemployed, and you get this sort of like market saturation effect where there's no more money going around, and suddenly everything kind of collapses, and you'll see that as soon as they're done with these last two blocks here. Yep, so now they go back down and they're all driving around aimlessly because they're all unemployed. This is all that will be done in the city because there's no more money to go around. But this is what was built. And if I run it again, it will turn out very differently. Each time it's a different company, just by random chance, it's a different company that starts, like, see, now it's the real estate company that's getting all these blocks. Um, and now they're immediately have started working on it. And yeah, as each time, like a different iteration of this little mini city world is built, and it just kind of evolves naturally in this way that's really cool and interesting. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. So thank you so much for watching.